fuming, like I think a lot of other Calgarians were, just being taxed on top of a tax on top of tax. Like it's just enough. Like enough was enough for me, and I was like, I want my voice to be heard. And my idea was like, this petition would have been filed, and I would just hope the mayor would have seen that it was filed, and that was it. That was what I wanted. I wanted her to see that like I was upset with something, right? I just didn't realize it would be this big.
Is Saturday, February 10th, and I am here at City Hall where a rally is underway urging the removal of Calgary's current mayor, Jyoti Gondek, from office. Mayor Gondek, also Calgary's first female mayor, was voted in October of 2021 with 45% of the vote share, but as of December of last year, her approval rating had slid down to 30%. Upon taking office, she quickly saw a dip in support. Calgary is in a traditionally conservative province. The previous mayor, Nahi Nenshi, was a progressive liberal. Picking up where he left off, Gondek took the city even further left with some of her policies. Some of those policies include declaring a climate emergency in her first week of office. She also put restrictions on protests, specifically on protests which oppose drag shows for children and freedom demonstrations. After 2 years of trickling approval for this mayor, Calgarians have decided they want to see a change. A site had been posted titled recallmayorgondek.com, which is designed to collect signatures and promote other actions such as this protest today. As of late this week, the site slightly changed and is now asking folks to fill out a Google form, which they will then use the information to send people petition packages straight to their homes to ensure the process remains legal. In order to sign, you must be at least 18 years of age, are a Canadian citizen, and are a resident of Calgary. You must also have a witness. Before the petition can be considered valid, they must gather a minimum of 414,284 eligible signatures within a 60-day period, constituting 40% of Calgary's population as of 2019. Let's take a walk through the crowd and see why people are so eager to have Mayor Gondek removed. What are some of the issues that bring you out here today?
Some of the issues that bring me out here are the concerns of Calgarians. What has seemed to have happened with the city council and the mayor is they've become very selfish in their desires and their ways of, I guess their directives. They seem to want their own personal goals being met, but they don't seem to be listening to Calgarians, and that seems to be a real issue.
The politics mainly of the mayor, and I feel like she's not taking the city in a good direction. And even just right when she started, like her first speech, first thing she says, oh, we're in a climate emergency, which is, why is a mayor even addressing that, you know? It just makes no sense.
Every community has its own essence, its own value, and without recognizing that, then we've really fallen by the wayside.
I think politicians should come down and talk to the people. If they actually care, if they're actually public servants, I think, and we haven't seen that from her, I don't think we have, so that's why we're here to sign this petition.
Dan McLean, he's one of the city councillors, one of a few conservative ones, and we need more people like that in there. Just get back to reality and get away from the nonsense.
People that I know and talk to are against a lot of the policies and decisions that the mayor and most of council are making.
Well, I mean, it's from day one, getting elected and announcing the climate emergency and billions of dollars that are going to go down the toilet that way. The dishonesty of that from day one for me, but a long range of issues and the high taxes in the city and not cutting back, when so many businesses are hurting. It's especially the small business owners that I'm hearing from, restaurant owners, that kind of thing. They're getting crushed by high taxes, high utilities, and all the rest of the nonsense that Gondek stands for, right? So, and of course, the most recent one was the bag, the paper bag bylaw, which was just craziness. I mean, I'm hearing from people about the parking and everything else. So left, right, center, everyone is upset with her. And she's, I think, the least popular mayor in North America in terms of the polling.
How do you envision the future of the city? What are some of the changes you would like to see?
There's a lot of these bicycle paths and so on. And they've basically stopped traffic and and some of the parking issues and stuff like that downtown. I actually avoid coming downtown typically because it's just it's kind of a mess. Yeah. I've worked as an engineer, so I'm a little bit familiar with this kind of stuff. And, you know, they're trying to bring in these 15-minute cities and this kind of thing. And, you know, Gondek's on board with that. And big mistake. Just a big mistake. I agree with all you guys. I had a rebel there, too. I listen to you guys all the time. I know the CTV and Global are over here. I don't even listen to them anymore. There's no real news.
She did increase the price on getting permit to build home when we need homes. There's so many things that she's taxing to get more income for the employees here. You know, they keep increasing their wage just by increasing our tax.
I think that we need to be putting our efforts and our resources into the top priorities, not the bottom priorities. For instance, this whole trans agenda, which is the lowest percentage of our population, is not where we should be putting our resources. We need to put it into families. We need to put it into homelessness. We need to put it into salaries, getting businesses a break. They're getting crushed by taxes right now. Even trying to start your own business is just unfathomable at this point. And then you throw in the immigration with not having housing, even for people who live here. There's just too much crisis going on right now to be wasting our time and resources with personal mandates that Jyoti Gondek seems to continually revolve around and make her key talking points.
I think we need an environment that's pro small business, really understand what small businesses require for better support. We need taxes to be reduced. We need the red tape removed that is keeping housing from being built efficiently in the city. We have a lot of problems are created just because of the bureaucracy and the redundancy of big government. And so we need common sense, conservative principles, I guess you would call it. I'm not too sure if you even have to say conservative, because common sense just means we need to make it easier for people to own a home, easier for a small business to survive, and easier for people to be able to live in where their taxes aren't going through the roof and having to choose between groceries and other expenses that they're facing. And so many seniors are facing a huge amount of stress because of everything we've seen happen in this city. Of all places in the world, we've got the fourth largest oil and gas reserve in the world in our province. We shouldn't be struggling this way. And it's because of the style of governance we have in this city that needs to change.
Well, I think one big glaring issue that's just been building over time is the homeless situation just down the road over there. It just seems to be getting worse and worse every year and expanding. Every time you drive by, there's more and more tents. There's open drug use in the C train stations and on the trains. And a lot of people, women, children, they don't feel safe taking the trains anymore. And you'll just see needles on the ground everywhere, and it's just it's not good. That needs to be addressed.
Either they don't have a clear vision, they can't really tell us what they can do for the city. There is no dialogue where we can even have like input, they can have input, and then we can build a bigger vision for the city. Same stuff as him. If there's things going on where we have like, if there's people here in Calgary that are struggling with either financial support, but I think the federal government is aiding. I'm not against immigration, but if they're aiding immigrants more than people that have been here longer than people, I think also the cultural thing, right? Like, it's like, are we going to lose our culture as Canadians if we aid more to immigrants, right? Are we going to forget about the people here? I mean, there's a bunch of issues. I can't say anything specifically, but I'm here for the dialogue.
So Landon, the mayor has been in power for almost 3 years now. What was the turning point for you that made you say, all right, I got to start this recall and take action?
There's a number of things, really, but it was the single-use bylaw, which was the final straw, that caused me to file the petition. Like, I was fuming, like I think a lot of other Calgarians were, just being taxed on top of a tax on top of tax. Like it's just enough. Like enough was enough for me, and I was like, I want my voice to be heard. And my idea was like, this petition would have been filed, and I would just hope the mayor would have seen that it was filed, and that was it. That was what I wanted. I wanted her to see that like I was upset with something, right? And then, I mean, I did reach out to reporters and stuff to see if this was an interesting story. I just didn't realize it was, something the rest of Calgary. I mean, I had an idea because you talk to people, like normal citizens are always talking at the work site. They're talking online and stuff. So like I had like a pulse of maybe what was going on. And so I just like, no one else has filed this petition. It would be cool to be the first. And I just didn't realize it would be this big, to be honest. But I think my whole purpose was to get my voice heard, and I think that's happened. But other than that, I mean, I'll be honest, like there's counselors that'd be a whole lot easier to get rid of. And I'm imploring, is that the right word? Like I'm imploring other people, like it's $500. Like that's a lot of money for a lot of Calgarians. But if you get enough friends together to put $500 cash together, there's counselors that are a little too comfortable in their chair right now. And you only need 40% of that ward's population to get rid of a sitting councillor. So again, this is all legal. This is what they gave us as citizens to use. So I hope other people get out there and get their voice heard. So, it doesn't just have to be this petition. We can have petitions all over Alberta. If you're upset with anything your government or your elected officials are doing, now you could file a petition and you could be the only signature on it. Or it could be a very unfavorable mayor like Calgary where lots of people would sign it. So again, it's something given to us as citizens, and I hope more people do it. I've just been having fun doing this. Like I enjoy meeting people. Like there's been a lot of Calgarians that have similar opinions about the way the city's been ran, and it's just been nice meeting people with the same goal, I guess. So it's been a lot of fun.
Do you want to tell folks that are watching how they can take action themselves?
As per the petition itself, well, we're ironing out all the details. Like every day we're figuring out an easier way to do something. We're figuring out the proper way to get the website running so it's more efficient for us to get canvassers out there. So just the patience is the biggest thing right now, because I kind of started something that I wasn't prepared for, and a lot of people weren't ready for. There were other organizations that were planning on doing this, and they had the infrastructure in place already, but they were going to wait till it was a bit warmer out because pens don't sign very well when it's cold. So I'm usually keeping 3 or 4 pens in my pocket, so one's always warm for someone to sign it. But just keep a look at the website. We'll start getting tallies as petitions start getting verified, and I think I've got a Twitter account that's getting verified right now, so that'll be out there. We'll keep everyone updated on that, and we're hoping to get locations all around the city at businesses or at community halls, anywhere we're legally allowed to be. We're going to try to get someone close to you so you can come to them, or be close enough where you can just walk over and sign the petition. Because this is technically easier than going to a voting booth and stuff like that, because we're going to try to come to you with either a door knocker, or like I said, we'll be on the C train, we'll be anywhere anybody's going to be, and we're going to try to get their signature, at least get their opportunity to get their signature.
As always, stay strong and stay free. For Rebel News, I'm Angelica Toy. Freedom of journalism is under attack in Canada. If you haven't seen, our reporter David Menzies was assaulted not too long ago by Justin Trudeau's bodyguards. Then, a few days ago, one of our videographers, Guillaume, was removed from another federal government event. It is becoming more dangerous to be an independent journalist in this country. As always, we here at Rebel News are not funded by the federal government, so we rely on your support to help us do what we do. If you would like to support us, you can make a donation to rebelnews.com.